Happy New Year, everyone, from Seattle. I was in the shower this morning and started reflecting about the holiday, because for me, the holiday is always a little fraught. I guess being a single widowed mom and having your late husband's birthday on December 22nd, it was always a little bit of a challenge. I think if you ask any widowed mom, you would hear pretty much a similar story where, you're trying to make the holiday the best it can be for your kids. So they have great memories and don't remember everything sad. And no matter what you do, somehow that sadness can seep through. It's just such a weird time, because there's so much pressure to make everything perfect and wonderful and filled with memories. And as a single mom, you're doing it all. You're like, you've got the reality of, carting home the Christmas tree on the top of the car and then somehow hauling it into the house and setting it up without it falling over. And then, pulling out all the decorations and getting them decorated. I remember the first year that my kids sort of took over the decoration as they got older, and it was just like such a revelation. It was like, oh my God, I have help. And I'm looking around today going, okay, it's probably time to take down the tree again, but I haven't brought myself to do it yet because it's an undertaking when you're on your own. And of course now my daughter is lovely, lucky girl. She went with her boyfriend and his family to Mexico, and Carter has returned to New York City. So I'm here on my own for a few days before Olivia returns and hunkers back down into doing her doctorate degree. So so what I learned over the years, it's been 21 years or something since Aaron died. And I guess what I learned over the years was that if I tried to find ways of creating experiences rather than sort of focusing on the gifts and the things, that often helped. So this year we drove up to my sister's place. She lives about 4 hours away in British Columbia. And we had a day of snowmobiling, which was really fun. It was in the middle of, the crazy, whatever they call that, the Arctic River or something. So the temperatures were frigid, but it was really fun. It was, lovely to be on the top of a mountain and the snow's falling and just to be outdoors. So it was really great. And then had a Christmas, I guess at this point it's the 23rd, with my sister and my mom and her new husband. And that was really fun and silly and all of it, just sort of. So it was great. There was sort of no drama, and it was really nice. And then we drove home in the middle of, now the, frigid temperature has turned to rain. And so we were driving through massively large puddles, I guess, the puddles that came up to the top of the tires, which was a little disconcerting. Anyway, made it back and had a lovely Christmas here. It was just four of us. And then Christmas dinner was actually just my son and I, because my daughter went over to her boyfriend's family's home for dinner. So that was really nice. And then we had a few people over on Boxing Day. And then for New Year's, on a last minute whim, my friend Nancy came down with her boyfriend Paul, and we went to, randomly, a Viking disco party at the Swedish Club in Seattle. So it was all very random and very silly and very fun. So I just wanted to reflect on that for all the single widow moms out there, that it does get a little easier. And if you can focus on kind of creating the experiences and getting out and doing things rather than sort of sitting around, I'm not going to lie, I won't, it's still a really hard period of time for me, these 2 weeks, and just it's hard not to go into that, I don't know, that old widow brain, I guess, where you're just sort of trying not to notice what's not there. I guess is the best way of describing it. So, I did have some difficult days for sure, and days where I was sort of wandering around, and not having kind of the chateau as a focus made it a little bit hard. So my other shower reflection this morning was about the fact that maybe I'm going to go back sooner. So I'm thinking by the time, I get this real and serious nature of the project certificate, it's going to be another month. Then I apply for the visa interview, and that sounds like that's a 2-month process. So I figure the earliest I could possibly have this interview is probably April or May. So I'm thinking, why don't I go sort of February, March, and possibly April, depending. By then I will absolutely know when my interview would be, and I'll just get a one-way ticket, and then I'll just book the ticket back when I need to come back for the interview. So that had me perk up a little bit today, I have to admit. Kind of going, okay, I can do another month in Seattle and then head out at the beginning of February. Thomas is, sort of chomping at the bit at me this morning saying, where's the plan for the bathroom? So I'm kind of waiting for my dad and stepmother to send me that. And so we could kind of potentially get moving. And I'm kind of really anxious to get back there. I want to go to that flooring place and look at the floors, the reclaimed floors. I've ordered a couple of books, and I'll share those when they arrive, to kind of review colors, room colors, that sort of thing, kind of give that another look. I think I seem to have equal number of people in my comments saying, yay, go with white, that's awesome. And other people are saying, no, you should work on the historical colors of the house. So, maybe, I have enough house to do both. so maybe hallways, I keep them simple and white, and maybe the rooms that, can handle it, certainly that grand salon and the mosaic tile floor room, the green room, they could probably handle a little fun on the walls. So I'll share the books that I got that I'm hoping will give me some inspiration there. Obviously, I look at inspiration all over the place. Pinterest, of course I have a big Pinterest board. I guess I could share that board. I'll look for that. If I can, I'll put it in the description. So I'm going to finish off my ramble here, but I did some painting for my Patreons. I have 7 Patreons, and so I wanted to send them a little card as a thank you for being my Patreons. And so I've done a little video of me creating them, which is sort of also a little bit of an art tutorial, I guess. And, anybody can do art. So I hope it gives you a little bit of inspiration, and it's super simple to set up. And yeah, and I guess if you are interested in becoming a Patreon and supporting the renovation of a French, not chateau, but I get lots of people telling me it's not really a chateau. And I know it's not a chateau. It's technically a maison de maître, and that's fine. But to me, it's a chateau. It is my castle. So I'm going to stick with the chateau thing. That's it. I've rambled long enough. Here's some art making. Okay, I am going to create some artwork to send as thank you notes to all 6 or 8 of my Patreons. And I thought it might be kind of fun to show you how to do it. So I start off by taping down my pages, and so I give them all, I just kind of eyeball it and give them all bit of a border. And try and make them sort of straight. I'm going to ultimately cut these apart. So now I just do one in half. Again, sort of eyeballing it. So I should stand over it rather than sit. So I'll just kind of make them little guys. They'll be cute. Cute little mini pieces of art. And then I'll do this one. So I guess I'm going to get 4 to a page. And this just enables me to do a whole bunch all at once. Because I kind of just wind up painting them all at the same time. So it's kind of a fast and speedy way of producing art. And I do this kind of, I don't know what they call this, intuitive art or whatever. So I just do a lot of mark making without a whole, it's not very straight, is it? Different. A whole lot of mark making with, you know, I don't know if there's a whole ton of intention going on. It's just, I'm just really playing. It's really just about playing this whole art business for me. It's, you know, I kind of got this studio set up after a breakup with the firefighter who we were engaged to be married and everything, but it just, we renovated the firehouse and then it just didn't work out, us living together. So when he moved out, I was left with this huge open space in this room, which was the apparatus bay for the firehouse. And it was being wasted. It just, nothing was going on with it. And so I thought, what could I be doing with this place? And then I thought it would make an amazing studio. And I hadn't painted since I was in college. So what is that? I don't know, 30 some odd years, something like that. So I went to the art store and I bought a little mini kit of paints. And I just kind of started. I actually kept one of the first paintings. Here, I'll get it. So I've kept this painting because it was one of the first ones I did to get back into the art world again, to sort of get warmed up, I guess. And I just bought these little 8x8 little canvases, and you know, it was like a starting, you know, it was like a student kit basically. And that's kind of how I started. And I just started taking some online classes. There's a whole bunch of free YouTube classes that you can take online. And so that's what I did. Okay, hang on. I'll have to stop the video right now. Stop video. All right, I'll just stop. I'll stop as I'll stop in the editing process. Okay, so I'm gonna just start with some water. And it's kind of fun because you don't quite know where this is going to wind up going. And then I like to use a lot of these sort of acrylic inks. This particular one is by a company called Amsterdam, but I also do these Dollar Rowan ones. So they're just really fun because it's kind of like watercoloring. Like if I put some where there's water, it just goes wild. And so that's really fun to happen. And you just never quite know how they're going to turn out. So it's really been fun to play with. So I just kind of make marks, really, and see where I go. But I might also use a little bit of paint, and I just have, acrylic paints. I can just kind of dribble them on, and see where this goes. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes I'll use a brush. Other times I can use a scraper. And, ooh. Ooh, that was fun. It's fun dispersing the water sometimes. So you can kind of see how these go. They just kind of take on a life of their own, really. So those are a couple of the marks that are fun to make. I have this little sewing tool that's also fun, although it's jammed up. There we go. So you can make little polka dots. And, so now, let's see, maybe, kind of have these as crayons, although that's a color. Let's do something slightly different. I seem to be attracted to the blues today. So these were supposed to be Christmas cards, but I didn't get it together. So I guess they're New Year's cards. All right. Let's see what else I got. Here's like a gray. These are like these Posca pens. Posca pen. Kind of have to let them drain a little bit. All right. Okay, I feel like we need some sort of contrasting color. I'm tempted to do orange, since orange is a nice offset to all these colors. So let's see. I use a lot of this orange. It's called vermilion. I suppose technically it's a red, but so you get the idea. It's just kind of to play. And this is all I do. There's not a whole lot of skill. Honestly, anybody could be an artist. You just have to set yourself up. Get some tools, get some colors, and see what happens. See where it goes for you. So you can see that by doing all these at the same time, they wind up being kind of a series, which is really fun. Now, what I can do with that is So I can wet up a brush and I can kind of drag the color around, which is sometimes fun.
You know, if we have one of those like camelback backpacks that have like the water in it.
Yeah, we used to, but I don't think we do anymore. Sorry. Guess Carter's going for a run. Oh no, he's going skiing. He's going to go night skiing today, which is kind of a fun thing. He goes to an area, it's about an hour and a half outside of Seattle. And yeah, they keep the lights on all night, which is sort of fun. All right, I think I find with these less is more. So I think I'm gonna kind of leave them at that and let them dry. And yeah, that's it, I think. I don't know. I hope my various Patreons will enjoy getting these in the mail. I'll do another quick video when I pull them apart and take the tape off, because that's really satisfying. Okay, hope you enjoyed. Okay, now I'm back. They've dried a little bit. I would normally leave them for longer to dry, but I just want to get her done. So this is the satisfying part. It's pulling back the tape. Yay. There we go. That's the first one. What do you think? Number 2. And I don't know how well you're seeing the third one, but voila, there we go. So now I'll just cut them down the centers here and sign them and send them out to my Patreons, such as they are. And yeah, I don't know, just kind of a fun little exercise to just sort of loosen up and play with some different colors combinations. So every one I choose, I find it's easier if you just choose 2, 3 colors, maybe 4 colors, and go from there. So hope you enjoyed. I know it's not really about chateaus, but it kind of is, I guess, because I guess now the art is promoting the chateau and the chateau's promoting the art. It's all one big happy family. Okay, à bientôt.